Hello, Jane Bishop here, your positive interrupter with a word for your day, fragile. One definition of being fragile is in a state of being delicate and vulnerable. Sometimes we think of fragile as a vase or a plate, something glass that has broken. Sometimes we think of fragile when there's a physical condition. I've got friends now that are going through cancer treatment. Their immune system is in a fragile state because of the treatment that they're getting. Fragile can also apply to our emotional state, or as someone has recently said, you know, the weather in our head. Sometimes that's how we feel about ourselves. As a positive interrupter, my desire is to not only help myself stop, pause, and think, but encourage you, the viewer, to stop, pause, and think about everyday things in life. I woke up this morning fragile, emotionally. That's part of a grief process. You know, as my good friend, Pernell, who lives across the pond, recently said, grief doesn't change. Our capacity to hold the grief changes as we grow life around it. So that means for me, there are still times that my emotions are fragile. When we are in a delicate or vulnerable state emotionally, here are three things that we can do. Acknowledge that's the state that we're in. That's the place that we're in. And then take action to create a safe zone for ourselves. For example, as the primary caregiver for my mother living with dementia, when I am emotionally fragile, I don't express that in front of her. So my safe zone is another part of the house, or to try to hold the emotions in until she goes to bed, say, for instance, in the evening. But create that safe space, that safe zone. Sometimes it's simply to step away. The third thing we can do when we are emotionally fragile is then take action. You know, what works for you? Is it reaching out to a friend? Is it driving down the road and sightseeing? Is it going shopping? Is it sitting alone with yourself for a brief time? Is it getting a box of Kleenex and letting the tears come? Which, yes, that is one of my action steps sometimes. I want to invite you to acknowledge the next time you are fragile with your emotions and create that safe zone for yourself, and then take action to help you in that stage. So as I woke up this morning and my emotional state was fragile, I have taken active steps today. I have reached out to friends. I have had a normal conversation. They had no idea what was going on with me in my emotional state. It wasn't important for me to acknowledge that on this particular occasion. I created a safe zone for myself by creating space between being with caring for my mother and then transitioning to appointments after the helper arrived. And then my action, not only reaching out, talking and catching up with a couple of friends, had a fantastic session with one of my coaching clients, which is very energetic and very engaging. Those are the types of things that work for me. Now, let me quickly say, the box of Kleenex was used last evening because that's what action was helpful. Fragile. Something so delicate that it can be vulnerable. Sometimes it can crack, sometimes it can break. our emotionally fragile times in life help build our strength and character and stamina and resilience to continue to navigate life, whatever that holds for you. As always, available to help you on your journey of self-leadership. Reach out to me, Jane at TakeTheNextStep.cct.com. Have a great day, a great afternoon, a great evening. And if this finds you in a fragile state, be kind to yourself. Be gentle with yourself. It's okay.